Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, I am Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 5, Episode 5, title I Forgot to Remember to Forget. Air date January 29th, 2008, and the synopsis is:
in a flashback of 3 years into the past, an event between Lucas and Peyton changes their relationship forever. Brooke has to decide about the fate of her fashion line since Victoria is putting pressure on her. Buddy has doubts about Nathan as he has a sudden temper problem before a championship game because of Haley, who is trying to find the balance between her school and motherhood. So we start off with Lindsay asking Lucas how's his writing going, and he says, it's slow. And Lindsay says, she was doing some organizing, looking around, and she found the picture of Lucas with Nathan, Buddy, and the college team. And so that was, I believe, it's like 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 hours ago.
Yeah. So, she's starting to wonder, because he looked so happy back then, and wondering, was he happier then than now, kind of thing.
Well, of course he was happier then. He was with Peyton, even if it was for three times a year.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's just with Lindsay. So, yeah, he was much happier, I feel.
Right. But he still tells her, that he wouldn't change anything.
But see, Lucas is the person that's like, he says one thing like that, but his heart means something else. Like, and his brain and his heart they've never really matched at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just another thing. Because remember, he would always say that about Peyton, or not about Peyton, about Brooke. And it was like, oh my God, when he was having feelings for Peyton. It's like, he just can never just say the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's another one of that.
Right.
Until the flashbacks happen and he is remembering it all.
Right. Yeah, so we see him coaching with Whitey until Whitey steps down because he thinks he's ready.
After the season.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Like, Lucas is 19 years old and Whitey is like, yeah, you can take over this college basketball team.
I know.
Like, Lucas is an assistant coach.
Yeah, and he's just then.
And it's his first season as an assistant coach. And you're just going to be like, here you go. And it's like, excuse you?
Right.
I don't understand. And he didn't even do one full season because what is it, a couple games and Whitey's like, here you go. Like, what? Like, seriously? What? Like, most people have to like start with like little kids first, then move up to varsity, and then they can go to college and NBA as in the coach. You don't just start out with college and then as the assistant and then boom, your first season, here you go, take over as head coach. I was like, okay.
Yeah. So outside, Haley's waiting for Nathan, and Jamie says his first word, which is ball, of course. And he tells Nathan that Jamie's definitely his son. And Lucas says he's lucky because he looks more and more like his uncle every day.
I know, that was funny because he was talking about how he looks like him, and I'm like, it's just so funny because like there's been a couple of those comments in this season. And I like that because I always thought it was true that he really does look like Lucas's kid. But also it is kind of sad because I don't really think that in season 6 and stuff, it's really talked about again. Like, it's really only these few episodes where it's like, hey, he looks like me and all of this, because all that goes away. It's just sad. Like, because even when the kid is, a teenager, it'd still be like a little joke thing, So, I was happy to hear it in this flashback, but I also know it goes away.
Right. Yeah, so then Haley's up with Jamie and Lucas couldn't sleep either. So he
So
mentions that Peyton was
Lucas
going to the game.
Lucas is living with Nathan and Haley.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay. He's homeless. Where are they living?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what house that is.
Where is this? Is this like a Tree Hill Community College?
I really don't know.
Because it's not set. Like, we know that Brooke goes to New York. We know that Peyton goes to LA. Is this Tree Hill, or is this like outside of Tree Hill? Is this another state? Is this within the state? I have no idea. Like, it's just weird how we know exactly where two other people are, but we don't know where they are.
Right.
So, okay. And I guess, because again, if they were in Tree Hill living in Deb's house, Deb would be there. So it's just weird how it's not talked about where they're at, like where this college is.
Right. Yeah, so he asks Haley if she ever misses, music. And, she says she does because she's watching him, follow his dreams with writing. But he says it's not much of a writing career when he gets so many rejections all the time. But he's just starting out, and that's usually what happens. Sometimes it can even take years to finally get that yes. So he probably just thought it was going to be easier. But,
Some people takes 20 years for a yes.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I think in this episode, I think it's showing a lot of Dawson vibes. Because especially the way Lucas was towards Peyton, about the whole like, all you do is get them coffee. Like, it's like,
oh yeah,
and she's like, but basically you have to start at the bottom. And he has that mindset that Dawson had, which is, I did more in my little town, so I'm just going to be the, big and bad director. No. What? Like, Dawson had that mindset, and now Lucas is having that mindset of like, my book is not published yet. and Peyton should be, owning her own label at 12. It's like, okay, that's a Dawson mindset. It's not a good mindset because it's not true.
Right.
And so I definitely was feeling Dawson in this episode for Lucas. I'm like, I didn't like how he was either. Didn't it seem like how like Dawson would have treated like Joey in college of like you can do better. It's like, huh? Like, no, I'm working for what I want. Something you should learn. Yeah, it was just giving me him, and it took me back, and I was like, I don't like it. Because we've always said that Dawson and Lucas really aren't similar. But sometimes he gives you the Dawson feels.
Yeah, like I get that he, meant that like Payne was doing more, but it's different, when you're doing things in a little pond versus a big pond. So
Right. I mean, she went to LA to intern. And which, I mean, for a high school graduate that just graduated to be able to intern, that's something, because normally it's you go to college, you get your degree, and then you intern.
Right.
Or you're in college after a year or two and you intern. How often do you get to intern as soon as you graduate high school?
Yeah, I'm guessing because he mentions too about her 2 CDs that she produced. So I'm guessing that's actually what got them the door in the first place. So
yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing though of like, yeah, she got ahead because she was doing all kinds of things in Tree Hill.
yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you're just going to be a big time tomorrow. Like, no, you have to work for it. And especially when you go to LA, like Dawson realized, you are then a small little fish trying to survive, and sometimes you sink. And I will say in this episode, I liked that Peyton was different than Dawson, because when Dawson went to LA, he was like, everyone should bow down to me. Where Peyton is like, no, I need to work for it. I need to get them coffee, their lunch, whatever they need. You know, they can treat me like crap. Where Dawson didn't have that attitude. Like, she knew going into this is going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to be handed everything that I might have had in Tree Hill.
Right.
She knew that. Dawson did not know that. Like, I don't know his thinking, but so I liked how they wrote it different than Dawson's Creek, because they could have very easily wrote it that way, of like Peyton thinks that she's better than everybody else,
right,
because she has done all this in Tree Hill. But they didn't write her that way, and I like that, because I think it showed her true colors of she is just a normal person trying to survive. And especially in the industry. And I think it also showed how hard it is in the industry. So I liked that better, because you know, I never really thought it was that realistic for Dawson's Creek, where it's a little more realistic for One Tree Hill, because they're showing Peyton at the bottom. She's in the mailroom.
Right.
They're showing that. You know, and how she talks about the one girl and how she moved up. It's like they're at least giving you an eye-opener of what it is and what it takes. Where I think Dawson's Creek didn't really do that. They were just like, here he is. And it's like, what?
Right.
So I like that better. Like seriously, show us from the ground up of what goes on. Because like Brooke, she had her mom, you know, and her parents' money to kind of get her where she was.
Right.
Where
so
Peyton,
jump start.
Yeah, Peyton didn't have that. So, you know, I think that's also a difference.
Yeah, and then Lucas apparently at this point at 19 wants to have a family now too. When he was looking at, you know, Nathan and Haley and Jamie together.
Oh my God, that was so annoying. He's like, yeah, it's like, I want a kid and a wife. And
yeah, I mean, I get that he probably wants that because he sees them, but yeah, he's definitely not anywhere ready to be a dad right now. So,
well, especially when you find out later, he doesn't really see Peyton. How can you jump to marriage when you're not even seeing the person? I mean, I get some people probably do it, but they will probably also have been together for a lot longer than a year. If that,
have more of a plan to like when they're actually going to be in the same place.
Right. Like they're in their late 20s maybe, and they've done it, you know, and so they figured it out. Where 19, that's young. And I get that some 19-year-olds can do it, but I don't think Lucas or Peyton, for that matter, are ready for marriage.
Right.
I think they both obviously want a family, because remember in high school, it's all Peyton wanted. But I think, especially now that she's in the real world, I think she sees it differently.
Yeah.
And she wants a career before a kid. Where in high school, she didn't really give a crap.
Right.
And Lucas was like the opposite. Lucas was like, you know, I'm good without, you know, a wife and a kid in high school. Where now it's the opposite. He's like, I'm ready. No, you're not.
Right.
And how, like, have you like taken care of Jamie for like a week? You know, it's like, I'm sure not, because Haley's there. It's like, until you're ready for that, I don't think so. Plus, the other person has to be ready. You can't just assume that we're going to get married tomorrow when the other person hasn't agreed to it. And you haven't even, and here's the thing. I don't think that you should propose unless you've talked about marriage and you know that person is on the same page. Because how many times do you like hear like the guy is so nervous? But here's my thing. If you're so nervous to propose, I just feel like you shouldn't be, because you should know, like, you should know that person is going to say yes.
Yeah, it's just like the nerves of like, well, everything turn out, like if they have like a plan to have things done, like is that gonna work out?
No,
Like, and
a lot of times they're like, I hope she says yes.
yeah, well, that's just when the guys only say that when they don't even, they never even talked about it. So that's how they don't know.
But that's my thing is like, if you're afraid that for even 1% that she's gonna say no, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Because it means you haven't talked about marriage. You haven't talked about the future. You don't know what her plans are, what she wants. So you shouldn't be doing it. And it's the same thing with Lucas. Like, he might not be nervous because he didn't seem nervous to have a ring, but he definitely didn't know her plan. He was just going off of his plan,
Right.
which was annoying.
Yeah, so apparently he's been the first nanny with Jamie. So he's been living with them. And Haley is in school for teaching right now, and Nathan's doing his nanny basketball, so everything seems to be okay right now. Versus like, 3 years from now. And Jamie's being cute and saying ball again. And then we go to Nathan at the gym, and he's trying to make people see him as a champion again after his point shooting days in high school. And Lucas has the confidence in him to win this one.
And then I love the little brother.
Right, yeah. And then it transitions to Lucas making a basket to Nathan dunking a basket at the game. Yeah, so this is when they huddle up and, figure out the plan. And, this is when Whitey first lets Lucas take the reins and, even leaves the gym. He doesn't even stay to watch. He just watches from the locker room, which I was surprised. But I guess he wanted to give Lucas like the full space, to do his thing. And then Lucas already like locks in and gives him directions and, tells Nathan that the ball's in his hands. And, Nathan calls him whatever, coach, whatever you say, which was nice. And then he does that fadeaway, which was like, I don't know if you call it's callback because it's in the future, but Nathan tells Quinn the same thing about the fadeaway. And they both tell their coach that the fadeaway is weak. So that was nice to make that connection. And then Haley's in the stands with Jamie. And then Nathan ends up winning the game. And Lucas sees Nathan and Haley kiss, making him think of the time that he kissed Peyton after, winning the game with all the confetti and everything.
I liked the flashback of Lucas and Peyton. But again, just because you see Nathan and Haley all happy doesn't mean you need that right now. Because it's not where you're at. Like, and also, did he forget all of the stuff that Nathan and Haley have been through?
Right, yeah.
They've been through separation, almost divorce at a young age. Does he really want that?
Right. He gave me the papers and everything for the moment.
Right. I mean, because they were, 16? And he's 19. Does he want that?
Right.
No.
And then later in the locker room, Whitey tells Lucas a good job on coaching. Did exactly like he would. And Lucas says he knows how to kick a guy out of the nest. And he tells Lucas that he's a great player, but he's an even better coach. And there's nothing more he can teach him, so he's going to let him take over. And even the dean and AD agree on that too. which again, if this was real life, he would be way too young for this position. But apparently they've never had a championship before, so that's probably why they agreed to let Lucas take the job. And then he tells Lucas to promise him he'll always remember there are more important things in life than basketball. But I think that's something he should have told Nathan, you know?
A year ago.
Sorry, sneeze. Yeah, so
A year ago when Nathan was like giving up. But even 3 years later, I mean, because here's the thing, remember, like Nathan was so upset about the whole college thing. And again, what was more important? And then now, you know, that it's 4 years later, it's like the same thing. That's what I mean. The whole, everything Nathan went through and had said is not the Nathan that we saw 4 years later.
Right.
Remember the one that was, remember, because he even said back then, he even said, as long as, you know, the three of us are together, that's all that matters. Well, where is that?
Right.
You know, like, okay.
Yeah, and then Lucas asks Buddy what he's going to do now, and he says he's going to be, you know, retired at home, and he'll probably just go watch basketball games and yell at the coach. So that sounded like a hint that he would be attending Lucas's games, but we never see that, unfortunately. At least I don't think we do. Like every time they see Whitey from now on, they go to his house. So too bad that he didn't come back. But yeah. And then Nathan is also being interviewed by the press in the locker room. And, you know, Nathan's in a good, positive mindset. You know, he says one thing that he learned from this year was that the most important thing is family. And, you know, that's when he tells Lucas that that was the first interview he had that, you know, didn't ask him about point shooting. So, which I think was, don't you think that was kind of quick that he was able to, you know, get past that? Because I feel like people would just never let it go in real life.
Probably. Because, I mean, even if you won a game, it would be like, you know, some talk of it.
Yeah, because people always want to focus on the negative. And then,
well, especially because it's only been a year. Remember, it's not like it's been 10 years where you are like, can you please forget it? That kind of thing, I guess.
Right. And then outside, Nathan tells bye to Haley and Jamie because they're going in the car and he's going to be riding with the team. But then a player from the other team tells Nathan that he has a cute kid. Wonder if he'll grow up to be a cheater like his old man.
And then Nathan wants to fight him. I mean, here's the thing. Like, obviously, it's Nathan's go-to, but it's like, I mean, it's like here once again, Nathan wants to fight. It's like just walk away. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even that bad. Let the dude talk and keep it moving.
Yeah, Lucas almost had him keep walking until he talked again.
Because I mean, here's the thing: like, he didn't physically do anything to your son or your wife or anything. Like, just walk away. It's just talk. It's just talk. Guys like to trash talk. Girls like to gossip. Like, just stop and just walk away. Like, ignore it.
Yeah, it sounded like he was Damien when he was touching Haley.
Right, because then you could punch him, but he didn't even punch him.
Right. But yeah, I felt bad for Lucas because this was like his first night as a coach and already has to
deal with Nathan.
Yeah, with it.
Like if Nathan once again, Nathan is ruining it for Lucas.
Yeah.
And I've been saying this, like he makes life harder for Lucas. You know, like Lucas is always trying his best to help Nathan, put Nathan first. Nathan never does that to Lucas. And here it is again. Like, this is your brother's moment of being first time head coach, and you're gonna get in a fight over this? Like this locker room trash talk? Like, Nathan, you've grown up with this locker room trash talk. Like, that's all guys have done to you is try to tear you down. Like, you know when you're the high up and you're doing your best that someone's going to try to tear you down. It happens everywhere. And he's seen it. I don't understand why he can't just walk away. Like, and he knows this. Remember, he would always be like, you know, you're just saying it, but where's that attitude?
Right.
It's like, just let the dude say it. like, whatever. Like, as long as you show your kid not to be a cheater, that's all. But again, it's just locker room trash talk. Like, just stop it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, making it harder for your brother. Like, just a nut. We should have really added up how many times Nathan messes up and Lucas has to deal with it.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Lucas finally is able to pull Nathan away and gets him on the bus. And then when they sit on the bus, Peyton emails Lucas a song to listen to when he wins the championship. And it's the same exact one when, at the flashback with the confetti in that game. That same one. And Buddy sits Nathan and, gives him that lecture about, how he didn't like the way he behaved after the game. And, he has to be careful with his temper, or else that will be the only thing that's left. And Nathan's just, thinking about how people are just never going to forget the mistakes he's made. And why he says, the most important thing for him is to get past them, and that, this is not just a real way by playing better, it's got to be living better. So, why he says he doesn't want him looking back down the road and wonder what might have been. They all know where that path can lead a man, and he tells Nathan the last shot, was hell of a move. And then why he goes to sit with Lucas, and Lucas tells him, out of 37 years of coaching, where does the, that night ranked? He says number 3, number 2 was the high school championship, and then the first was the night that Camila agreed to join a scrawny kid just embarking on a 37-year coaching career.
So again, it's Whitey reiterating that love comes first.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course that's when, Lucas, keeps thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he tells them, like, you wouldn't mind dropping me off at the airport. And so of course, he's all happy to do it.
Yeah. So then he flies to, so that was at night. So what is this, the next day that Lucas gets there? Because she's at work, right?
Well, because he says drop me off at the airport. So he's dropping him off that night to the airport. So maybe, I don't know. Because I don't know what time, wherever this game is.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever he's flying out of to LA, I don't know the time, like how long away it is. Like, what's the flight?
Or not 3 years, 3 hours.
No, but the flight. Like, I don't know if it's a 3-hour flight. I don't know what the flight is. But then, there is a 3-hour time difference, so it makes sense.
Maybe it's like the same time that it was when he left wherever he was to begin with.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So then Lucas calls her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And plays that game of what you're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets it down to a T. So that's when, she realizes, because she sees him, that's exactly how he knew what she was wearing. Because he was looking at her.
It was so cute.
Yeah. And then, she's shocked but happy to see him. And then he asks if this is marketing and distribution.
Nope. She says, I work in the mailroom.
Yes. She says she pimped up her job description a little to make him think that she's doing really well.
And then, of course, she's getting yelled at by some guy.
Yeah. So maybe he wouldn't worry. And then, so that's when he starts talking about she knows a lot more about music than anybody else there. And,
that's what I didn't like. This whole thing. Yeah, it just was giving me Dawson vibes.
Mm-hmm. And Lucas or Peyton tells Lucas about the girl that was in the same position she was a few months ago, but now she's a junior A&R executive, so she has hope that she can go that way too. So then he's reminding her of her accomplishments that she did in high school, and he really should be being quiet because he can actually get her fired. He
was being loud and annoying.
Yeah, and it's a quiet office, so his voice can carry.
But he made reservations for them.
Yeah, I didn't like that because he didn't even know what time she got off of work because she's we work until 9. So
because he's like the reservations are at 8, and she's like, that's early. I don't get out till 9.
Right.
But again, they only talked, but they've only seen each other 3 times, like,
Mm-hmm.
in a year. So it's like they don't know much about each other. And again, you don't even know what time she gets off work and you're gonna you want to marry her.
Yeah.
I think you should know that, what time she gets out of work.
Mm-hmm. And I guess
Um,
this must not be like a busy restaurant because he was able to make reservations that exact same night and then reschedule it like an hour later.
yeah, because then they make the plan at 9:30. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
9:30?
Right.
I must be old.
Yeah, so when she shows up later at the restaurant, late because the traffic. She said she got stuck over the cannon. But yeah, so he's all dressed up and but she's still in her, work clothes. Of course she didn't have time to change. And
So
he
Lucas talks about how he gets a new rejection letter every year, and
mhm,
Peyton is continuing to encourage him, saying it's going to happen. She knows it. I liked that she was doing that because she's the level-headed one. He's just
mhm,
in la la land.
yeah. So she's, talking about how she loves her job because she gets to go to bands, when tickets aren't used and all that. And he says that they've had their fair share of bands in Tree Hill, thanks to her, trying to. I think this is kind of his way too of like, yeah, having her remember what she's accomplished, but it sounded kind of like convincing her to come back just to be with him in a way. You know what I mean?
Well, I know, because when she was talking about the bands, she was all excited, and he's like, "Yeah, we
Mm,
had our fair share." It's like, "Oh my God, this isn't tit for tat. Like, control yourself, Lucas." Like,
right.
she's just telling you about her life,
Mm-hmm.
like what's going on, what she loves about her job.
Mm-hmm.
Something you should know if you're going to marry her. You should know what she loves, what she hates about her job. I mean, are you serious? I mean, it's okay. Like, if they're married, you're gonna go home and you're going to tell your partner the good and bad of your day.
Mm-hmm.
So, because they haven't talked, this is her way of talking about her day and what she loves. And so I didn't like that. I just feel like he was also like undermining her by being like, we've had that. And it's like, okay, but she gets to experience a different kind now.
Mm-hmm.
So let her live her life and be happy and go to bands she's never seen or met before. I mean, yeah, she had bands in Tree Hill, but she didn't get to meet these ones.
Right.
Like, let her be happy. She's 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that at all because I'm like, Lucas, she's only trying to tell you things that's happening in her life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
true.
all you want to do is be obnoxious. And
Right.
it's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much of Dawson. Mm-mm.
Right. So then, he tells her about why you letting him take over and everything, and she's proud of him. And yeah, because he's gonna get a salary, benefits, office right off the bat, of course, which is very unheard of in real life. And then she mentions if he got the song that she sent him, and that she even made a mix CD now of songs that won't even go on sale for a couple of months. Now, I was thinking that she probably shouldn't be allowed to do that, but you didn't keep it anyways. But
Yeah.
yeah, so just like a mix of the songs to make him think about her. And then that's when she gets a call about going back to work right away, which what she was there for like what, 10 minutes maybe at the most?
I'm a little confused.
Yeah.
She works in the mailroom.
Yeah, I don't know. If she was
What
an
if
assistant,
she like goes and finishes distributing all the mail,
hmm,
what in the hell does she need to go back to work for? Like, she's not an assistant. She's not an assistant to the
yeah.
assistant. She's
Hmm.
not, you know, any like, I don't understand like why she works
Hmm.
in the mail room distributing mail.
Right.
I don't get why she would need to go back.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, they should have just made her the assistant to assistant right here, so it would make more sense.
Right, because it'd be like, chop, chop, I need you back. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
But again, if she's done with distributing the mail, I don't understand. Because here's the thing, like, I could see, like, if she had to give, like, scripts out, because remember, sometimes if they finish a new script, they have to get it out to that person at a certain time. So sometimes it is in the middle of the night. Well, that's also not the mailroom's job. That's like the assistant of whoever's job to distribute like a script. But she's also not working in TV or film. She's working in music. So I don't understand why she would need to go back to work.
Right, and then it would make more sense too when we go back to the present day and she's like, 2020 or 21, 22, and she's still the assistant to assistant. Then you can understand why she feels really stuck like she was. So.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Peyton was like just telling them like, hey, if you need any help,
Mm-hmm.
like thinking that it would get her to where that girl is
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe that because think about it, I think other people would be like, that ain't my job. Like I must sit there and, you know, get paid or whatever for the little bit and that's it. But like I think she might have said, like, hey, if you need help on something, keep me in mind. And maybe they were like using her, like, sure,
Mm-hmm.
you want to do this, go ahead. So I think maybe that's what it was. And then I think that's probably where they were like, hey, she could be a good assistant to the assistant to the assistant. It's
Yeah.
like that's probably where she got to go from there, is because she came back to work or stayed late and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because think about it. Otherwise, how are they going to pick her out of anyone in the mailroom? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like she's sitting there having conversations with somebody where they'd be like, hey, she'd actually be a really good assistant. No, they're not saying that. I didn't get any feeling from her being in the mailroom this episode where she would be a good assistant,
Mm-hmm.
except for her working past her time and showing up when they call.
Right, and getting
But
that guy a bagel.
yeah. So I feel like that would show like, hey, I could do this and keep me in mind.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, so she has to go back or else she's fired.
Lucas
Yeah,
isn't happy.
yeah, because he wants her to stay for dessert, but she says that they can have dessert at her place. So at least she was offering to like change things around so she could still spend time with him.
Yeah, but I didn't like that he's like, you're just gonna basically go get them coffee or whatever. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
screw you.
Mm-hmm. And then he already has a room for them at the hotel too, without mentioning it to her. So like, what if she said she couldn't meet him there either? So
Well, yeah, because she said they'll just go back to her place. And no, I have a hotel.
right.
So does that mean that her place isn't good enough for him?
Right, yeah, I don't know, because it would make sense if you like set something up for them there, like with candles or something.
Well,
But he didn't.
I could see if she had like a roommate, then it'd be like, I want my alone
Hmm.
time with you. So like, but I didn't get a feeling at all that she had a roommate.
Right.
Because that would have been made more sense of like, okay, yeah, we definitely shouldn't come back to my place because of my roommate. We definitely should go to a hotel. But no, it was never said that she has a roommate. So I don't understand, why would you go to a hotel when you could go back to her place?
Hmm.
I didn't understand that at all.
Right.
I was like, what? Like, save some money,
Hmm.
especially because you really don't have much.
Yeah. So she says that she'll be there by 11 o'clock. So I wonder too what time she has to go into work, 'cause that's pretty late. But later on we see that it's past midnight and she's still not there, and then more time goes by and he ends up falling asleep, and then he drops the rain box that he was holding. So I guess this just keeps being more spontaneous because, like I said, he was going to propose to her, but then he didn't set anything up at the hotel that he, really wanted them to go to. So it's not like he really set something up, but he didn't. It was just the ring, which was disappointing. But yeah, he wakes up later to her sitting in the chair because she found the ring, when she walked in, because it was right there on the floor. But she couldn't bring herself to open it. And just kept thinking about how much she loves him. And he says he wanted to be a surprise. And
okay, this makes no sense. Wait, so she really didn't see the ring?
Yeah, just holding the box apparently. I guess she just didn't want to see the ring and have that have more of the idea in her head when she wasn't ready. So, and then
well, because I'm only thinking of when she goes against Lindsay and she says he proposed to me with the very same ring.
Right.
But then I remember that Brooke saw the ring this episode, so she told Peyton.
Yeah, well, he takes it out of the box here anyway, so she sees it anyhow. Because that's when she gives it back to him at the end.
Yeah, he never opens it though.
But she handed him the ring.
Yeah, she gives him back the box, but she didn't see it.
No, I saw it. She put the ring right into his hand. I saw it. It wasn't the box. So they took it out when we didn't see it.
I didn't see her take it out.
Yes, I'm saying we didn't see the box being taken, or the ring being taken out of the box, but she definitely did give him the ring back.
Well, yeah, she gives him the box with the ring in it.
Well, I just saw the ring by itself.
And because he shows Brooke the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes it out then and all that with Brooke.
Right. But I'm saying in this scene, she did see it. We just didn't see her, nobody get out of the box. So.
Yeah. And why I don't understand too, like if she's the love of your life,
mm-hmm.
he has a poor way of being romantic, of proposing.
Right.
That's weird.
Like I said, he was just going to propose with the ring with no candles or balloons or just something to make it more memorable. It's just the regular hotel room, like nothing special or anything.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he even gets on one knee and says, yesterday was a great day. And when he was sitting on the bus, he realized, none of his great days, it was not without her. And, she's the one he wants next to her when his dreams come true. That quote that we always hear. And she's the one, he wants next to him. She's the one that he wants next to him when, if they even don't.
Yeah, but then she stops him from his speech.
Yeah. So that's when she tries telling him, it's too soon. They're not ready. She has her thing in LA. Now he has his thing wherever he's coaching.
And that's when she also says they don't really talk much. They've only seen each other 3 times. They sometimes send emails. That's not really a strong relationship to be married.
Mm-hmm. And she said that Tree Hill has too many painful memories too. So you should have understood that.
Well, and I like when she was like, I'm not coming back to Tree Hill. And that's when he's like, then I'll come here. And it's like, and then she, she's like, no, I don't want you to give up your dream and your life like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's gonna okay, if he was disappointed in this night, what do you think every night is gonna be like with Peyton?
Right.
If he was disappointed here, every night. Okay, it's taking me back honestly to remember when Nathan pulled this too, when Haley had when she first performed at Trick, and she had this interview, and then this person wanted to talk, and Nathan was up at 3 a.m. and she still wasn't home, and he's playing with his basketball and he's so upset because she ain't home. And I'm like, oh my God, you wanted her to do this. And now that she's having a moment, it's irritating. And it's the same thing with Lucas here. It's she's not home. It's oh my God.
Right.
These guys.
And then Lucas brought up Haley and Nathan, being younger than they were when they got married.
And that's when she's like, look how well that turned out. I that's why I liked when she threw that in his face of you really they have not had this fairy tale life. And she doesn't want that. She's never wanted the Naley life, kind of let's get married young and all this.
Right.
So I liked that when she said that, because I'm like, it's true. For some reason, Lucas is just forgetting all the bad things.
Right. So she tells them like give it another year, and then that's when it's hard. I can't imagine how they barely even talk to when they're not seeing each other in person. Because she says they go days without talking and trade a few emails.
That's what I said. They only
Yeah.
send some emails. They don't even talk.
And that reminded me too of when Brooke told him the same thing when she broke up with him. Like we go days without having a meaningful conversation. So he's just not good at keeping in touch when it's long distance, or when they're not seeing each other that often. So.
But I feel like time difference too.
Yeah.
Because if she's getting out of work at 9, it's midnight in Tree Hill.
Yeah.
Like, so even when she gets off work, and even if she wanted to pick up the phone and call him, he's sleeping.
Right.
And when she's getting up in the morning and getting ready for work, he's already have started his day. Like, they don't really have, like your lunchtime is never the same. And, it's just like they're on two different paths. And so even when it's Brooke and Peyton, like, the time difference is still the same. They're still 3 hours apart. So they don't even talk. So it's harder when the person is on a different time zone.
Right. Oh yeah, he's the one that said that they go days without talking, but yeah. So she tries to explain to him, like, if he can't trust, that their love can make it another year. Like, she doesn't understand how she can be talking about forever right now. So Lucas is taking this as a no, and she's like, no, I'm not saying no, just not right now. And she does want to marry him someday. And for him not to pull away because she wants them to be together, she loves him so much. And he says just not enough.
He's annoying.
And then Payne asks if, they can pretend that he just never woke up. And he says he doesn't think they can. And she says she's afraid the conversation's going to end with goodbye. Then they kind of, lay down, and he's still in the rain box. And she tells him their dreams are going to come true. But then they end up falling asleep. And then the next morning, Lucas wakes up. And
he doesn't, of course, he doesn't say goodbye. He just kisses her on her, and it says goodbye.
Yeah, and leaves the CD, yeah.
And leaves. That's annoying.
Yeah. And then, she wakes up later to find him gone, but left the CD. And then, so then Lucas gets to the airport and explains he has to get back home earlier than expected, but that's when he gets his call from Lindsay.
From Lindsay saying that she wants to publish his book.
Yeah. So really, Lindsay, this whole time, starting from here and then flash forward to 3 years later, like she's just been like the rebound girl.
That's all she was.
Yeah. But in his head it was differently. But and she's the only one that really realizes that later when it's not too late, but like the very last second. But yeah, so he's all thrilled, and now he tells the lady at the airport they has to go to New York right there and then. And the lady says that it must be a dream come true, and that's when he realizes that, this is the moment that he wants to share with Peyton. So he goes to contact her on his phone.
But he doesn't.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Yeah. And then we see Payne again at work, she's all hurt because of the left. Yeah.
I think she should have called in that day.
Yeah. And she can't even like handle that guy with his coffee run. She says that she needs a minute. And then Lucas is meeting with Lindsay's boss at a restaurant somewhere, who says that he's right, he's good. But he's not gonna lie to him when he found out that his father was a convicted murderer. That's exactly the kind of person that they need into this market.
What'd you think when the boss was like, yeah, we need to rename your book?
Well, I mean, that's not a surprise. It seems like, the title is something that a lot of people want to change, but he never said what his suggestion was, so I think it depends on what people would think,
But I was confused because I thought when they were in high school, I thought it was the title that it became.
Yeah, I think it was.
Well, then why is it here that because what is the title of this book?
Yeah, I don't remember. I think they don't mention it until later, like out loud. I could probably Google it, but
Because they said Murder of Crows.
Parliament of Owls. Yeah.
So that's what he named the book, or that's what they want him to name the book?
No, that was his, because Lindsay says she loves it, and then she quotes it. So,
but I'm confused because I thought the title was whatever it was, and so he's already changed it from what a year ago.
Yeah, I guess they're probably like brainstorming, and he said, "Well, I used to call it this," and they're like, "Well, let's go back to that. Maybe that's what happened."
Something, because I'm like, I liked the first one. I don't like this. This one's too long.
Yeah, and it makes you think it's about birds also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, his title is an unkindness of ravens. So
Yeah, that's better because they were ravens.
yeah. So I don't know where he got crows and owls from. But this is gonna be Lindsay's first time editing also. And apparently her dad runs the company too. So that kind of gave him special treatment right there too. But
I'm also confused at this.
Because we don't see him.
No. Remember when she goes off and she starts crying in that fight between Peyton and her, and she says, "My father died." So did he die what did he die within 3 years?
Maybe, yeah.
So we never hear if Haley's father dies, which he clearly does, but we hear that Lindsay, who we really don't care about because she's a minor character. Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, either that or they forgot that her dad owned the company. One or the other.
Yeah. And then she, tells him that she'll be faithful to his voice and gives him like the timeline of how it's going to go. It's going to take at least 6 months before publication, and they're going to be together so often it's going to feel like they're married.
Yeah, so annoying.
Yeah, because he just kind of proposed to Peyton and got like kind of like a no. At least in his head it was a no, but
it was annoying when he told Lindsay, "I just wanted to say thank you for changing my life." That's a little dramatic.
Well, I mean, it was his first big break, so I can see why he said that.
Yeah, but who wrote the book? He did. And he was sending them to, I just didn't like the whole changing my life. Because it comes right back from him wanting to propose to Peyton to this. And especially we know that they're in a relationship. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Like, you just met her. You don't know if she's really going to change your life. Your book could flop.
Yeah. And then she asks about, Lucas and Peyton in the novel, but then he just says no. And she says too bad because she was rooting for them. So, too bad she I forgot my thought. Yeah, but too bad, I mean, I don't know what to say, never mind. And then the waitress comes up to tell Lucas, someone's there to see him from Tree Hill. And Lucas thinks it's Peyton right away, but it turned out to be Brooke. Because he apparently sent her a message. So he's, just say that he's in town. And I guess she couldn't see him right there and then. So last second, but yeah, she said she wasn't going to miss to spend a night in the town with the next best-selling author. And then later on they catch up, and Brooke says her mom moved her there from LA because her dad travels so much. But she thinks they just have a trial separation. And then she's, gushing about him and his book being published, and he's going to be a rock star with it. And Lucas asks about, how she's the one with the big clothing line, so she has a lot too going for her. And she says, that her mom Victoria wants to take things to the next level with a high-end couture cosmetic company and her own magazine called Be Davis. I don't think we see the cosmetic company in the magazine though, do we?
I know we see the magazine. I don't know. I think that was it.
Yeah. And it wasn't even like a big thing. We just saw Peyton with it, but that was it. After that, it's just like the clothing line specifically. Yeah, so Lucas, said that her magazine picked up in his first review. And she said sometimes expanding seems like a good idea, other times she didn't know. And the last time she spent this time with her mom, was the maternity ward, and she's scared if she lets her in, close over those isn't going to be hers anymore.
Which it really didn't when we ran into her 4 years later.
Yeah.
So then she does ask about, you know, like, where's Peyton? She must be thrilled for you. And then he said, we broke up.
Mm-hmm.
And she's shocked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then he explains like what happened, and she's like taken back, saying, if he's stupid because he's from LA, went all kneeling on her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, did you even buy a ring? And before she even finished the sentence, he pulls it out. And
then everybody around him thinks that they're engaged now.
Yeah. Because then later on when they're at wherever Brooke is, or no, it was his house, wasn't it? That they were. Oh no, I'm sorry, Victoria walked in. So yeah, it was her house, her place. And then he's like demonstrating what he did to propose to Peyton, and that's when Victoria walks in. She automatically thinks that this is a real proposal, of course, and is freaking out because then Brooke can't do what she wants to do with the company. And Brooke says, never mind, he proposed, right? And then they go out to dinner and laugh about the rain and the Victoria moment. And
I like when she said that him and Peyton will work it out.
Mm-hmm.
Then he said, I don't think so, not this time.
Right. And she points out that it sounds like he gave her an ultimatum, which is true, he did.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he brings up how many times has her and Peyton talked. Mm-hmm. And she said, that's not fair, we're both busy. It's like, yeah, and like they're not in a relationship. Like mm-hmm. you and like you're wanting to marry her. Brooke and Peyton are just friends. Mm-hmm. Like Lucas, that's not even a good playing field.
Right.
But he brings up how she broke up with her boyfriend, which she didn't break up with him. And she never told Brooke. And I'm like, first of all, again, Peyton didn't break up with you. You gave her the ultimatum, and she wasn't ready to get married. Like,
mm-hmm.
That's on you.
Yeah. And then Lucas, she tells Lucas that they need to get drunk, but she wants to see the ring first to give a designer's opinion.
And of course, everyone again thinks that they're engaged, and so the champagne is on the house.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which apparently they're all excited, or at least Brooke is, because they kept getting free drinks all around town.
Yep, and even the Kira dried.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she's like, why not? It's our engagement night. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Yeah. And then when they're on the ride too, the driver asks questions about what they're gonna do with their lives. So they kind of like make up this whole.
But what did you think though when she said that they're gonna have a big family, and she said 2 boys and a girl?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what they have, just with other people.
Right.
He has the girl, and
mm-hmm.
she has the 2 boys.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they definitely put that seed in very early.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they realized they did that. Like in season 8 at the end, or whatever it is, when she has the boys, I wonder if they even realized that they had said this.
Maybe not. Yeah, who knows? And then, the carriage driver says that's the key. Success is wonderful, but finding someone to love, having them love you back, that's what it's about. And Brooke and Lucas' smile drop, remembering this engagement isn't real. And then later on, Brooke helps a drunk Lucas get home.
And he tries to kiss her.
Well, she was gonna undress him too. That was weird to me. Like change him into his jammies, as she called it.
But it just was like, oh my God! Like, of course he makes the move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it just seems like he was like so desperate to like have somebody that he was gonna like cling on to any woman that he could.
Yeah, and Brooke has been in the middle of those two, and she ain't planning on going back. So she's like, no.
Yeah, so at least Brooke, I mean, she wasn't drunk, but at least I feel like maybe even if she was drunk, she still would say, like, no, this isn't a good idea. You should just, go to sleep, and this is the second stupidest thing you've done in the last 24 hours.
Yeah. But it is true. They're not in high school, so. But I like when she said, like, she loves Peyton, and, he does too. So, nothing's happening. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah. So he says, he feels lost, doesn't know what to do. So that's when she's like, well, when we broke up, I focused on my clothing line. That's what he needs to do too. And, be the best person writer he can be. And when he, approaches Peyton, and if she comes back to him, it's meant to be. And then she tells him she's going to go and he probably won't see her for a while.
And then I like when she said, she told them Lucas Scott's going to change the world someday, and he doesn't even know it yet, because that's what he told her.
Right. Okay, so this was the scene I got mixed up. Brooke's the one that gave him the ring back without the box in his hand. Okay, yeah, so Payne, never saw the ring.
Yeah.
That's what made me confused. Okay,
that's why I was confused, because I'm like, he was going to open it, but she put her hands over him. I was like, no.
Okay, yeah, after that. Yeah, so I did like the quote that she gave back to him. And then Brooke gets back to Victoria is waiting for her, and she's saying no.
She said she's gonna get the marriage annulled. And then she said, it was a joke, relax. Yeah. And then her mom, and then Victoria goes, thank God. And then but what did you think though when Brooke said that Lucas Scott was the one boy she might have lost it for?
Right, yeah, I didn't like that. She seemed to still have feelings for him.
I was like, what? Like maybe in high school, but not now, because that's Peyton's boy. Like, I was like, what? What do you mean you would have lost it for him?
Right.
What?
Yeah, like because she was with Chase when they graduated, so like what happened between them, Like,
but
where
I'm
did
just
feelings come from?
But also, have Brooke and Lucas not have tried it a bunch of times and it failed every time because he had feelings for Peyton? So why would you say you would have lost it all for him?
Right.
I don't understand, because like you would have been the second pick again. Okay.
Yeah, so Victoria's trying to tell her that, the company's more important than a boy with a ring. And, clothes over bros for, a reason. And Brooke says, she's just in everything that Victoria wants to do with the company. And, Victoria's happy about this. And
she's like, call me Victoria.
Yeah. And she's going to have everything she's ever wanted.
And the whole mom thing just sounds too old.
Right.
But you are her mom.
Right. Like, what, does she have Brooke when she was a teenager or what? Because that would make a little bit more sense, but it seems like she was older than that, so.
Yeah, but even if she was 20, like here, Brooke's only 19. Like, I know she was older than 20, but I'm just saying, like, whatever. Like, Brooke's only 19. She's not 39.
Right. And then Nathan and Haley are at home with Jamie.
Trying to get him to say ball. And then instead, Haley wants him to say a guitar.
Yeah.
But of course, Jamie says ball because obviously it's so much easier.
Yeah.
I liked here because we haven't seen it in season 5. I liked here when he thanked Haley for supporting him and helping him get his dream back. Because let's be honest, she did.
Right.
I mean, she practically begged Whitey to get him on a team. So, because he wasn't successful in that department. So, I mean, she did support him. I mean, hello. She also supported him when she was pregnant and he had no job, still never got a job. The boy had never gotten a job. And so I'm like, yeah, she definitely supported you in every form of the way. And that, he loves her.
And then back a sec, it was just funny how she wanted, saying Jamie was going to be a well-behaved rock star, trying to get him to go like on her career pathway, but then he ends up going to Nathan's anyway. So I wonder, when she kind of dropped the rock star, future for him.
Probably when he wanted to play basketball.
Right, yeah. And that Payne's work, she tries to get a peek into a meeting, but the door is closed in her face, while Lucas is holding a bamboo as he waits for, to see Lindsay. So that's when we learned that the whole bamboo origin story came from him and then came back to Peyton.
Okay, so I don't remember because I try to avoid Lindsay as much as possible in my brain. But for Lindsay, what did she tell Peyton that? What was her story? Her bamboo story?
She just said somebody gave her the bamboo as a luck to show that her career was finally taking off, her dreams were coming true.
Oh, because I feel like, I don't know why in my head she said like a friend.
Yeah, I think she said a friend. She said a friend or somebody, something like that.
If she said, I know she never said Lucas, but if
Yeah.
I thought she said a friend, and I'm like, Lucas is not your friend.
Right, I think she meant like a friend at the time, but of course she didn't want to tell Payne it was actually Lucas. So
Yeah, but they weren't friends here. Their coworker, or that's actually his boss.
yeah,
So
more
they're not
like
even friends here. They
Mhm.
became friends as they worked together, but they weren't friends here because day one he's showing up with this. So they're not. She knows nothing about him except for his writing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I was just kind of thrown off. I was like, what did she tell Peyton?
Right.
But yeah, I was like, oh God, of course. It all started with Lucas. Now, where in the hell did he get this idea from?
I don't know. They should have let us know where he got it from. Yeah.
Because think about it. He never gave Peyton this when she started Trick. He never gave Brooke this when she started her clothing line. And I'm sorry, but those are two big things. And yet he's gonna give something to Lindsay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so confused.
Because I'm sure you can buy bamboo maybe from anywhere. I don't know,
But isn't it weird he gave those two nothing, but then he's gonna give Lindsay something?
Yeah.
Like, are we trying to now point like Lindsay is the love of his life and those two weren't?
Yeah, maybe, or they just really wanted to keep tying him back to Payne somehow, one way or another. And this was a weak way to do it.
It was a stupid way because again, both of them had way more success, and yet he gave them absolutely nothing.
Right. And then after giving her the bamboo, he still has the ring in his hand looking at it too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he was still thinking of Payne when he was meeting Lindsay. And then we flash back to the present again where Lucas still has the ring and puts it in his dresser. And he looks at the team photo.
Well,
And
the whole thing is Lucas was always thinking of Peyton because even a year later, when his book comes out, he still wants Peyton to know about the book signing and everything. Like, even though they hadn't talked in a year or whatever, like he still wanted her to be there. Like he never stopped. It wasn't like, because you would think after a year it'd be like, you might not be thinking of that person. But even on that night, like he still wanted Peyton there. So it's like,
right.
Even then, it's like she was always on his mind.
Right.
Which tells you something.
Yeah. So, Lindsay asks if he's going down memory lane, and then maybe she write it down. Excuse me. Then they can both get some money. But then Lucas says he was thinking about going for a walk, and then we see Nathan Nathan sees Haley putting his trophies back in the shelves.
I like when she said like it's about time she does it, gets them out of Jamie's closet because he's proud of his daddy. And she said, so am I. I'm like, oh my God, but here we go. Like we have a perfect scene.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna get ruined. Like our first scene of these two. It's all gonna get crushed. Next episode, probably. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's got like they don't really have too many happy scenes before this whole nanny Carrie situation. So I did like when he said that, he was ashamed of the person he was, and that's all going to change, and we're
Mhm.
not the couple we used to be, but we're going to get there. I was happy.
Mhm.
I was happy he said all that
Yeah, until it doesn't happen.
because she needs to hear that.
Yeah.
Like he's not giving up, and neither should she, even though, she could have.
Mhm.
And he is changing. Like we're finally seeing a different side of him, thank God.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. So,
also he doesn't have that hair, thank God.
mhm. Yeah, until things change. But then Lucas goes to see Brooke at the house. He asks if Payne's around, and Brooke says she thinks she's at the studio today. So then Lucas mentions the night that he was in New York when he found out his book was being published. And Brooke says, she remembers because it was the same night she went to business with Victoria. And Lucas asks Brooke, if she ever wonders if they chose the right path, and she says sometimes she does, but she has all these wonderful things in in her life.
I'm confused. So what was the point of Lucas going to Brooke's house?
Just to see if they both got what they wanted, because everything kind of started off
Are
that
you
night.
sure? Because he also knows that Peyton lives there. So was he hoping? Because this whole time he's been thinking about Peyton while he's with Lindsay. And then he says, I gotta go. Like, I gotta go for a walk. It's like, was he hoping to run into her like he did at the river court that night?
Maybe, yeah.
By going to Brooks, and then I can say I was visiting Brooke, but really I was hoping that Peyton would show up.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
think about it. You have a pretty good chance of running into her if you go to the house.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you? I just don't get why you would go to Brooks if you were hoping not to run into Peyton. Like that'd be the
Mm-hmm.
place you wouldn't go.
Right. And then too, when Brooke asks if he still loves Payne, he just says he has to get back to Lindsay, and that was
I
it.
know. I was like, that was not a no.
Mm-hmm.
And she even says, right, this is gonna get interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I love that they threw that in there because it was obviously for the audience
Mm-hmm.
of Brooke telling the audience because it's true.
Yeah.
I was so happy that but again, I was also so happy that he didn't say no
Right.
because it gives us hope that they can work it out, and it gives us hope that Lindsay ain't the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think in that case too, it helps.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it, if he would have said no, just yeah, it would have made us happy,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't even know her. So, and we don't really want to get to know her. We just want him to choose between Brooke and Peyton, which, there's only one at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. Like we don't want are there really any Lindsay fans?
Well, I don't mind her. I don't hate her. But yeah, she's just a rebound, so I just kind of feel sorry.
Well, she's
Nothing
just like
really.
a minor character that got herself involved in a love triangle. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how I look at it.
And it's kind of funny she did that when she read the book and saw how that turned out with Payne and Brooke with Lucas.
Well, and two, she got herself she knew how much he cared for Peyton.
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't get mad. And especially when she comes back, you knew he wrote a whole dang book about her. Well, half of a book about her.
Mm-hmm.
um, it's like you saw how he felt. And then he starts writing just all the stuff. And then for her to be all like, oh my God, I'm the little victim. It's like, no, you're not. You're so far from it.
Right.
Like, again, don't be pushing him towards his ex and don't get involved yourself in a love triangle.
Yeah.
That's your own fault.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for me, um, the high, um, was the Nathan and Haley scenes because, I miss that. I miss the two of them being happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know we're gonna get more of Nathan, Haley, and Jamie, obviously, but I can't wait for those moments. So
Yeah.
any little moment I can get of them is happy and good for me. So I like that, which was the whole episode for them. The low, obviously Lucas's attitude towards Peyton and this whole engagement thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not talk, but yeah, let's get engaged. No.
Yeah, mine is
Yeah. And then what would you rate it?
like a 7.
Wow, I was gonna say 7.5.
And then best and worst?
The worst was Lucas, obviously.
Yeah, me too.
Because he was annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, the best, I actually thought was Brooke.
Yeah, me too.
Because she was helping him with his pain of the breakup.
Yeah, and shutting it down when he tried to kiss her.
Yeah. Because she could have very easily gone along with it. But she didn't. And even though he was trying to slam her by saying, "You and Peyton don't even talk," she still like let it go and knew he was hurting and just kept being there for him. So, she was being a friend. She definitely wasn't being an ex-girlfriend. She was definitely being a friend. So yeah. Because otherwise everybody else was just kind of helping themselves, I would say. But yeah, and I was happy that Brooke was like listening to him, but also giving what Peyton was feeling, because Peyton wasn't, couldn't say how she was feeling because she was no longer in the scenes.
Yeah.
So what were yours?
The same, yeah.
Oh. Yep. Wow, we finally got on the same page for once. Well, I feel like it was pretty easy. Everybody else had their own little storylines, which was only Nathan and Haley. And they weren't doing much. They were only doing too much for the episode of like everybody else. So
right, yeah. Only Nathan almost here in that fight, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
he's in the fight, yeah.
Yeah. Say he would have been second for the worst. And then what's the next episode?
Episode 6, Don't Dream It's Over. I actually know this song title.
I'm not excited. Nanny Carey's probably in it.
Right, yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.